Hi, in this video, we'll go over how to create a 360 photo of a car, including interactive exterior 360 photo, as well as interior 360 photo. An end product will look like this. This is a complete interactive 360 photo where you can move the car around, see it from different angles, click on hotspots, interact with them. It could be audio, photo, video, PDF, almost any format. And you could also go inside the car, see the hotspots, move around, click and interact with them. We'll learn how to set these up automatically. The whole process will take somewhere between 5 to 10 minutes, depends on how much photography you would do. So without any further ado, let's get started. To do the 360 photography, you would need these four hardwares. You would need a monopod to hold the interior panorama photo, capture tool. Our recommendation is to use Ricoh Theta Z1, and we recommend DJI Osmo Mobile 4. The advantage for this is that it is compact, it fits in a pocket, it is easy to play, it has an auto balance, and the best of all, it has a magnetic head that what it does, it connects to the adapter that comes with the gimbal, and it easily connects and disconnects, because as you do photography, you would need this for the exterior 360 photo, but then for the interior photos and exterior 2D photos, you just need to unplug this and plug it back. And you do need a smartphone. Recommended to have an ultra wide angle, so it helps you to get closer and you need less space going around the car. Now, let's get to the capture. To do the exterior 360 photo, you would need the phone, the smartphone, and you need the gimbal. So you open up the gimbal, you connect it. Depends on how and what your gimbal is. The Osmo 4 has a white connections that once you balance it, it will automatically attaches properly and then gets you started. So first, before you do any captures, we are going to automotive setting. In the automotive setting, we can choose if you want it to be left-hand drive or right-hand drive, if we want to have 120 or 60 frame. If you're using a turntable for your 360 photography of a car, we recommend to use 60 frame. If you're using a walkaround, like what we're doing in this video, we recommend to keep it as 120 frame. For the model size, you could go anywhere between 4K, 2K, and Full HD, but our recommendation, especially if you have it 120 frame, keep it at Full HD to increase the speed of loading the model. And here we have the glow filter, which basically what it does, every photo that you capture, it will increase the brightness, contrast, hue, saturation, and sharpness. For this capture, I'm going to just put it on 2, just for the purpose of showing you. So default hotspots, if you like to have any constant and any fixed hotspot, you could choose it here, so that all the hotspots that you add, it will look like this. If you leave it as auto, it will automatically, based on the content you load, it will assign a hotspot. For example, if it is a video content, it will show it as a video. If it is a photo content, then we'll show it as a photo. So we keep it auto for now. And then here you could change the color of the hotspots. Next is our default condition report. So we have a section that you could assign scratches and dents. This is the default icon for it. And then you could choose a color for it. It could be orange, red, or any other color you would like to have. You could turn on or off your exterior condition report. That means through the process, the system will not ask you to add that and it will skip it, as well as you could do the same thing with the interior condition report. I'm going to leave both of them on so we can show you how it will out. So feature report is a section that will go over different features that you would have, and you could turn it on and off. Then we have exterior photos, which takes you to all these different options that you could add based on what your default capture setting is in your dealership. These are about, I believe, 23 photos, almost any kind of photos you can imagine. You could turn them on and off, and you could make them hide, invisible, and visible. If it is invisible, you only when you are signed in, you will see it. And your audience, people that buy the car, will not see this. So it's going to capture the sticker for the VIN number, but it's not going to be visible to public, and it only be visible when you guys are logged into Glow 3D platform. So we're going to turn this off for now. Panoramic photos, by default, we have the front seat only, but you could do rear seat, which becomes handy if you have a larger car like an 8-seater or a minivan, And you could also do undercarriage, and we're going to turn these on for the purpose of our demo, so you will see how the capture happens. And at the end, we'll have the interior, which is a similar concept as the exterior, and we have about 23 different kinds you could turn this on. So all in all, if you keep all these options off, you are going to have nearly 70 photos for just one car. And once that setting is done, we go to automotive. The first step is to scan the VIN number or the vehicle ID number. It might be called different names in different countries. For example, in the UK, it's called chassis number, but basically it's the same idea. You could use an OCR technology we have to capture it from the windshield, or you could use the same OCR, even though that is number, and capture it from the tag that comes typically on the driver's side. So you can scan the numbers, or the other option is to just scan the barcodes off the VIN number. So I use the scan number, and now it is good. I go to next. So next screen is here where I choose what kind of car I'm capturing. So this is SUV, and then it will take me to the next screen. So that's where I would need to connect to my gimbal. So typically there is a point, a white point here and a white point here where you want to get them close, and there the magnetic will connect automatically. I will turn it on. One of the advantages is that when you turn this on, you will just double tap here, and it's going to turn it into angle. On the right side, the telephoto is selected. I don't have enough room here, so I will go to wide angle. So when you're capturing the 360 photo, you shouldn't keep it like this vertical, because when you're going around the car, it's going to move up and down. The other thing you also don't want to do, you don't want to keep these completely horizontal, because then it wouldn't do a good job either. The perfect hold up is this 45-degree angles from the ground. And you always want to stand between the two tires, sort of in the middle of the car, and then try to adjust your alignment. It doesn't have to be 100% aligned. On the left side, I can adjust the brightness contrast. On the top, if I have made a mistake, I could change it from a different car type. On the top right, I can change the angle as I showed. On the left side, it is showing you the position where you are in terms of starting the capture. Obviously, we have the capture button at the bottom, and on the top, the arrows that shows what direction you will be moving. So when I'm ready, I press capture, 3, 2, 1, and then it says go. When it says go, that means it's ready to start capturing. So I'll start moving slowly. Try to keep the car in the center of the purple guidelines. And as I move around the car, it is showing me the outlines or the silhouette of what I want to line it up. The center of the car has to be in the center of the purple lines, and then you will go around. So advantage of this platform that we have is automatically detects when it goes back to the original position, and you will be able to test it to see if it is something you're happy with the capture or not. Now I'm happier with the result. I'm going to click next. So now I'm done with the gimbal. So I'll just hold the on and off button and we'll take it out. So in this screen, we have the exterior photos. A very good feature of a platform is that it will easily take you through the whole process, from VIN number scan to exterior 360 for exterior 2D photos, panoramic photos, interior photos, exterior condition report, interior condition report, and then the save at the end of it. And if you activated feature report, for example, we would go through the feature report. So now we start with the exterior photos. If you look at it at the bottom, it shows exterior is 1 of 5 because we just activated 5 of those, let's say 20 photos. But obviously you could activate more if that's what you like. On the top left, we could change the angle. So it could be telephoto, which gets you closer, or wide angle. You could adjust the brightness right here, or you could, if for any reason you don't want to take a picture, you could go to skip. And obviously the red button is to do the capture. So now this is a driver open door, and based on a photo, I know that I have to come here. And I do have the option of taking it horizontal, landscape, or take a portrait based on how I like it. This is wide angle. If I want, I would be able to adjust the brightness or contrast. I'm happy with the results, I'll do the capture. So if you remember from the setting, we increased the glow effect. So now the setup is that it makes it a little bit sharper with more hue and saturation. And I could also play with the sharpness. I could also play with brightness. Now that I'm happy, I will go to the next one, which is the rear seat open door. So the same process works out with all these 2D photos. So I will come here. I'll probably do this portrait as well. I'll do the capture. So now I can do the hood open and capture. Next, so is the roof view. Let's say if for any reason you don't need any of these, you could skip and go to the next one, but I like to capture, so I'll do that. Next is the trunk open, so I'll just open it up. So here I have too much light outside, so I will sort of zoom in here, and I will increase the brightness a little bit, and I do capture. I'm happy with it. So now that I finish all the exterior, it comes to the panoramic photos. So here I could skip panoramic photos if for any reason I don't want it. I can go back to the exterior photos. I could retake everything. That means to start from the beginning, or I can start panoramic photos, which ask me permission to connect to the 360 camera. There you go, it is connecting. So now I'm going to connect it to my monopod, and I'll place it in the car. So on the top, the first 360 photo says front seat. So you always want to have the front of the camera facing the front of the car. I typically raise this to be about eye size. The idea is that you always want to have this sort of in the level with looking at out. So we always want it to be vertically as well as horizontally lined up. This seems very good right now to me. And the other very important thing is whenever you put the car in order to put the hotspot properly, you want the steering wheel to be straight. So I'm going to turn on the car and fix this section. So you always want to look at come in a stand somewhere that you're not visible, and then you press capture. Once you capture the front, it will go through the process. It is very important as well in this piece to be able to adjust it if you need to scale it. Always the center line is the most important part. If you can't adjust everything, it doesn't have to be 100% accurate. But we recommend a steering wheel is the most important part, and then the middle console if you can do it. And once you're ready, you just press next. Now on the top, it shows now you have to do rear seat. So now I'm going to take this out, and I will place it at the back. I'll try to keep it on center. And once I'm happy with the result, obviously I will come outside, close the door, go to the blind spot, and press capture. So let's go next. Now I have undercarriage front. So obviously it's not something that you would do it every time for all the projects, but for some businesses it might be something that is important. You want to extend your monopod as much as is possible. We're going to put it under the carriage, under the front, and we put it as close as possible to the ground. So you kind of want it to be sort of straight. When it is in the middle, you just press capture. So like any other hardware, these 360 cameras also have a firmware, which is a software that operates the camera. So you always want to make sure that you have the most updated firmware for your 360 camera. So now that I'm done with the front, you can see how it will turn out. It's relatively good, so I can see a lot of details. Now that I'm happy with the result, I'm going to go next, and I will do the same thing and kind of want to make sure that it is on center, and I will press capture. So once the blue line shows, I could take this out, and now I took the back here. Look at it, see it from different angles. I'm happy with the result, and I say done. Now it is a time to interior photo. So now the same, similar to the exterior, it is taking me through the process. So I'll start with the entertainment center, and I could skip it, I could capture it, I could adjust the brightness, and it automatically on the top left, it is choosing telephoto. I'll just go here and capture this. The middle console top view, the next, the rear view mirror. So I want to increase the brightness a little bit, and it looks good now. I'll go next. Instrument cluster. Here is too much light. I will capture, and I'm going to increase the glow effect. So the other benefit when you do a telephoto is automatically blurs the background, which is something that you may really like to do. And then the headlight switch controls, driver seat comfort controls. So now we have a telephoto as an option here for the driver door. Now I have a headrest entertainment. So this is a good sample because if you look at this car, I don't have headrest entertainment, so I could easily just skip. And now it's going to take me to the middle console rear view, which I will just do the capture on a portrait. If you look at it, it automatically switched to wide angle. I didn't do anything, and that is really a time saver. And now panels on the passenger side. That is done. And now I'm past that stage. As you see, it's taking me through the process, and now I'm the exterior condition report. I will start the condition report. Is showing me here. So this is a relatively clean car, and there's a little bit of a scratch here. So what I'm going to do is that I will try to mark it on the plan here, and I will say the location. I will skip that by pressing next, and the next would be what it is a small scratch, right? And I'll say done. So here now we are going to press capture. So now if I want to retry it, I'll even can like point a finger. So it is something that the person who is actually doing the photography would be able to get an idea of what the damage and the scale is. And now I'm happy with the result. I will capture that. So it is okay now to me, and I will say save. So now if I want to move this slightly around, then I would be able to do it or do other changes. I'm going to go around the car, inspect it. Oh, I'll see another very little scratch here on the panel on the door. So I'm going to just tap that here, and I will do a small scratch. I do have an option that not to put anything here, so it is really your choice. And I use my finger to sort of show the scale. You could also print something as a sort of a scale printout or a measuring tape, and you could put it beside it, which will help the camera to focus. It also helps for the audience to kind of see the scale of what that damage is. So it might be something really interesting. Now I'm going to go around the car to see what other damages I can see. It looks fairly clean. I don't see any other major issue, but just for the purpose of what we're doing, I see a little bit of a sort of a paint over this section, so I am going to add that again. This time I'm not going to add a title so we can kind of see. I'm going to just do the telephoto. There's a 3x zoom. I will save it, and the other part is that I know at the back here I'll have some scratches as well. So I'm going to just tap here, and I'll try to have it in a zoom version, and here I'll press capture. So once I'm done with this, I'm done with the exterior. I will save, and I will say done. Once I'm done, I am in the interior condition report. I will start interior condition report. It is still a very good condition inside, but let's assume that we have a little bit of a tear up in here or a little bit of a stain. So what I could do, I could just tap where the stain is and be able to, again, do the same thing. And let's say this is where the scratch is or the tear is. If you do have the scale printout, like a color print, it would really make it a lot more professional. And once we're done with all the reports here, we have the option to save it for later. That means in future, we can add more hotspots and make more changes. We could publish original, means it is going to get published immediately. We do have a publish after white background, means it is going to go through our white background through the server. So you're not going to get hold up here, and you could immediately go to your next capture. But at the same time, as soon as the white background is done, it will automatically get published. And then you have the blur, and we are adding a new feature coming soon that you could choose an image background, which you are going to choose an image that you would like for the background, and will automatically get placed, and then the model 360 photo will automatically get published to your website and also get synced to your inventory management system. Now we're going to go over the computer to see how this capture looks like on a computer without spending any extra time, which is the advantage of our platform.
So once we're done with the capture, you come to glow3d.net and log into your account, and here you will be able to see the car that was captured. So we haven't done any post-processing or any modification to this. So this is the original 360 photo. As you see, the hotspots that we took are automatically placed in. On the top, either on center or on the left, we'll have the gallery. That what happens, we automatically create a set of 2D photos from everything you've done, including creating the exterior 2D shots from that walk around, and also documenting everything. On the gallery, we have the option to sort them by just exterior photos, interior photos, as well as condition, which if there's any deficiency that we'd like to disclose, you will be able to basically do it here and be able to interact with it and add if there is any explanation. For example, it will be right at the bottom. You could also see the interior of the car that, again, we automatically place the hotspot. So a very big difference from any other solution is that we dynamically place all the hotspots, so there's literally no action for you to do. And then this could be incorporated, embedded into the website. And as you see, all the hotspots are placed, including the second panoramic view, which is from the back seat. And the same thing goes with the other, for example, this is the roof view, and this is the undercarriage 360 photo that basically shows what is happening under the car. This, for example, is the rear photo, and these two will be the side view. So one other very important feature is our condition report. It will show outline from different sides that communicates or is connected to what kind of car it is. If it is an SUV, then the outlines will be SUV, and then we will show the photos that you took that shows the deficiency, or let's say in a small scratch that is in it, and then the user can switch between exterior and interior. They would also be able to see the item here, or they would be able to see it in the gallery on the top where the condition is. So if you have explanation descriptions of the car, it will show here. There is a button that can be connected to a WhatsApp number. What a dealership would do, or a photographer would do, is simply just walk around the car, follow the instruction, capture the photos, and everything else that you're looking here and we talk about will happen automatically, saving hundreds of thousands of dollars in staff salary and costs that otherwise would go through significant amount of post-processing in the office. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to learn more about it, get a hands-on experience, feel free to reach out to us for a demo. Thank you.